dragged the performance. Coppola dragged the performance out of you in Apocalypse Now, or at least urged it out of you as Captain Willard, that a lot of people who observed it, this is what I've read, found almost frightening.
Yeah, well, you know, Francis had a lot of courage, one, in bringing me in to play that part. I was too old, frankly. You know, I was 36 when I came to the Philippines, and I'm eternally grateful to Francis, and we formed a friendship over the years that started with that, and he opened a lot of areas to me and allowed me to explore a lot of things that I don't know if I ever would have gotten the chance to do and ever would have gotten to know myself as a result of Apocalypse if he hadn't been that courageous and that generous and that tough on me. He was tough on me.
There's that scene right at the beginning that lets the audience know what they're in for, where Willard is thinking about his life and what it amounts to and what his circumstances are, and he strikes that karate pose, sees himself in the mirror, punches to the mirror, hand emerges, bloody. That, from what I can gather, was legit. It wasn't an effect. I mean, that was your bloodied hand.
Yeah, I still got the scar. Yeah, I cut myself, and I bled quite a lot, and Francis tried to stop the scene, and I begged him to continue rolling. There were 2 cameras going, and he said he couldn't do it, and they had a nurse standing by, and I said, please, I must do this for myself. I beg you to leave it going. And he did, and he allowed me to wrestle, in a sense, with some demons that I had been wrestling with for quite a while. And now I was doing it in a public forum, and in a sense, I got them out. I had no idea at the time I was going to do it. I had not planned to do it. I knew something was going to happen. But see, I had done that scene in bars. I'd done that scene at home, you know, in my drunkenness. I'm an alcoholic, you know. And I had to come to grips with it. I had to exorcise that out of myself.
What did it look like when you saw it?
Pretty frightening. And today I don't recognize that man as a pretty sad guy. Pretty sad man. And trying to be something he wasn't. Afraid of things that he shouldn't have been. Immature in a lot of ways.
What do you think you were trying?
Very painful guy.
What do you think you were trying to be that no longer matters to you?
Well, all my life, I'd wanted to be a movie star, you know? And here was the opportunity of a lifetime. I was working with the most important, talented director in the world on the biggest feature ever made with one of my idols, Marlon Brando, you know? And I'd felt terribly insecure and empty about it all. It just didn't make any sense. Why me? And why this? And why now? You know? Over and over again, I would talk to Francis about who is this character, Willard? And how do we play him? And Francis was always, always clear about it. In that he'd tell me constantly, Willard is you, whoever you are at this time, in this place.
It's been suggested that that whole experience, physically taxing in the Philippines, the emotional investment that you put into the role, Coppola driving you, that whole experience was somehow related to your heart attack.
No.
But maybe that's just a glib analysis because you have relatives who had died of heart conditions, so it's genetic.
Could be. I chose to have that heart attack. I needed to have that heart attack. There was a part of me that was already dead. I had to die to that part of myself. You know, I'm talking very metaphysically, but spiritually too. I was a desperate man, you follow, and a terribly dishonest man. I was living two kind of existence, and you can't live that way. You can't live healthily or whole. You're going to break. And Francis did not drive me on. No, on the contrary. You know, this is a very sensitive man as well. He was hard on me in that he would not let me get away with any cheap shots, acting-wise, you know. He wanted me to fully realize myself in this piece. And there are only 3 people that have done that in my life, 4 really, that have had a profound effect on me, besides my wife, who's my oldest, dearest friend. But there was Francis Coppola and Terrence Malick and Joe Papp, New York Shakespeare Festival, and Julian Beck at the Living Theater, where I started in 1979. These people were the teachers of my life that had the most profound effect, and still do.
Yo, Mars Blackman, here with the lattice lamp.
I am the genie on the lamp. I'm granting you just one wish.
What should I wish for? Do you know?
$1 million?
Nah, tax problem.
A new car?
Can't drive. I got it.
A wop babaloo mop bam boom!
Look, Mom, I can fly. I like that, Genie.
I am the greatest.
Uncle Buck will return next week, and Lenny can be seen right after the following CBS special presentation.